I gave a speech at the wrong funeral, and it got me a job. I was 24, unemployed, and my grandmother had just passed. My family asked me to say a few words at her service. I'd never met most of her friends, so I just showed up in a black suit, walked into the funeral home, and someone waved me toward the Margaret service. My grandma's name was Margaret. Perfect. I sat in the front row. When the director nodded at me, I stood up, walked to the podium, and gave the most heartfelt speech of my life. I talked about her warmth, her strength, the way she made everyone feel like family. People were crying. One man gripped my shoulder afterward and said, "That was beautiful, son." Here's the thing. I didn't recognize a single face in that room. I figured Grandma just knew a lot of people. Then I saw the photo by the casket. It was a man, named Gerald. I was at the wrong Margaret's. Sorry, I was at Gerald's service, in the wrong room, one floor down. My grandmother's funeral was upstairs. I had just eulogized a total stranger, with my whole chest. I wanted to disappear. But before I could sprint out, that same man grabbed my arm again. Turns out he was Gerald's business partner. He said, "I don't know who you are, but you understood my friend better in 5 minutes than his own family did in 40 years. I panicked and said, "I have to go to another funeral," which is the worst sentence you can say to a grieving man. I ran upstairs, made it to Grandma's service, cried real tears this time, and tried to forget the whole thing. 2 days later, my phone rang. It was Gerald's business partner. He'd tracked down my name through the funeral home. I braced to get screamed at. Instead, he said, "That speech, do you write? Because I run a marketing agency and I've never seen anyone read a room like that." I said, "I've been unemployed for 8 months." He said, "Not anymore." I've now worked at his agency for 3 years. I write speeches and campaigns for a living. My boss introduces me to every new client the exact same way. This is the guy who eulogized me by accident. We visit Gerald's grave every year. I finally learned who he actually was. Honestly, my speech held up. So be honest. Would you have run out of that room or finished the speech like I did?